there, and welcome to the latest deep dive. We're going to be like cracking the code on FinOps today, you with me.
Yeah.
Even if it's not on your radar yet, and maybe it's not, if your organization touches the cloud at all, this is going to be a good one.
Absolutely. Everybody throws around the cloud like it's magic, but the real magic is understanding like the financials behind it. And that's where FinOps comes in.
Okay, so you're saying it's more than just like, don't spend too much on AWS.
Way more. It's about squeezing like every drop of value from your cloud budget. In fact, I've worked with companies who've actually increased their cloud spending after adopting these principles and see a huge jump in ROI.
Now that is what I call a deep dive worthy discovery.
There you go.
I'm hooked already. But for those of us who are new to this whole FinOps thing, can we rewind a little bit? What are we really talking about here?
Yeah, so picture this. It's like tech teams, finance teams, business leaders, all on the same page, all working together to make sure that every cloud dollar is aligned with business goals. It's about taking a strategic, proactive approach to cloud financial management instead of just like reacting to whatever the bill happens to be at the end of the month.
Music to a CFO's ears, I bet. So it's like instead of flying blind FinOps is giving you a financial roadmap for the cloud.
Exactly. And like any good roadmap, it helps you navigate the twists and turns, identify potential savings, and even uncover like hidden costs that you didn't even know you had.
Ooh, hidden costs, those are never fun. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's zoom in on maybe a group that's often overlooked in this whole cloud conversation. The finance team.
Yes.
Unsung heroes, right?
Absolutely. I mean, these are the folks that are responsible for budgeting, forecasting, reporting on cloud costs. And trust me, it is not as simple as it sounds.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to predict the weather in the middle of a hurricane. That's kind of what it's like for finance teams that are dealing with cloud spend.
Okay, that sounds intense. Why is it so much more complex than, say, budgeting for traditional IT?
Because the cloud is constantly evolving. New services pop up all the time. Your usage can fluctuate wildly. Think about it. 10 years ago, barely anyone had heard of serverless.
Right.
Now it's revolutionizing how applications are built. That speed of innovation means a lot of unknowns for finance teams who are trying to make, accurate predictions.
It's like trying to hit a moving target in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder finance teams are often left scrambling.
Exactly. And this isn't just a headache for finance. It can have real consequences for the entire business if cloud costs spiral out of control. We're talking about missed opportunities, stalled growth, even damage to your bottom line.
Okay, I'm starting to see why FinOps is so crucial. It's about bringing some order to the chaos, right? But let's talk solutions. How does FinOps actually help finance teams get a grip on these challenges?
So one of the biggest things that it does is it gives finance teams the tools and the insights that they need to actually track their cloud costs in real time.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to see exactly where every dollar is going, down to the department, or even the specific application. That's the level of granularity that we're talking about.
Oh, okay. Now that's powerful. No more guessing games.
Right.
But it's more than just having the right tools, isn't it? It's about changing the whole approach to cloud financial management.
You got it.
Right.
And that's where the real magic happens. So FinOps introduces these concepts like showback and chargeback models.
Wait, hold on. Before you blow my mind, can you unpack those a little bit?
Yeah.
What do those models actually look like in action?
Yeah, so let's say you have different departments within your organization, and they're each using cloud resources. With showback, you're essentially providing those departments with a transparent breakdown of their cloud usage and the associated costs.
Okay.
So it's like, hey, marketing team, here's exactly what your social media campaigns are costing us in terms of cloud resources.
So it's about bringing that cost awareness directly to the teams who are actually using those cloud resources.
Exactly. And then there's chargeback, which takes it a step further. So instead of just showing the cost, you're actually billing each department for their portion of the cloud bill.
Whoa, that's next level accountability right there. No more hiding behind the shared cloud budget curtain.
Precisely. And while it might seem a bit radical, these models can be incredibly effective in driving responsible cloud spending habits across an organization.
I can already see the benefits. More transparency, more accountability, hopefully a lot less wasted cloud spend.
Right.
But let's get back to our finance team for a second. What other wins can they expect to see by embracing FinOps?
So one of the biggest wins is improved accuracy in cloud budget forecasts.
Okay.
Remember how we were talking about cloud spend being this unpredictable beast?
Oh, yeah, I remember. Like trying to budget for a unicorn.
Exactly. Well, FinOps helps to kind of tame that unicorn.
Okay.
By analyzing historical data, identifying usage trends, and using sophisticated forecasting models, finance teams can finally create budgets that are actually reliable.
No more spreadsheet nightmares. I bet that's a huge weight off their shoulders. But it's more than just making the numbers look good, right? It's about empowering finance teams to be more strategic.
You hit the nail on the head,
Right.
and that's where things get really exciting.
Instead of just being the budget police, they become strategic advisors,
Right.
helping the business leverage the cloud for maximum impact.
Exactly. Imagine a finance team that can confidently advise on the financial implications of different cloud migration strategies,
Right.
or help determine the ROI of, various cloud investments, guiding the organization towards the most cost-effective solutions.
Yeah.
That's real strategic value.
It's like they transform from scorekeepers to game changers.
There you go.
But let's rewind for a second. You mentioned something earlier that really piqued my interest. Hidden cloud costs. What exactly are we talking about here? Are we talking about digital dust bunnies?
Think of it more like finding a subscription that you forgot you were paying for, but on a cloud level. You know? It could be things like data storage fees for information that you don't even use anymore, or virtual servers that are just sitting there idle, but they're still racking up charges. These costs can really sneak up on you if you're not paying close attention.
It's like finding a leak in your budget. A small drip can turn into a big problem over time. So how does FinOps help plug those leaks?
It provides that framework for identifying and addressing those hidden costs. It's about implementing the tools and processes that give you that crystal clear view of your cloud spending, so you can spot those inefficiencies and eliminate any unnecessary expenses.
That's going to be a huge relief for finance teams, not to mention a major win for the business's bottom line. But I'm curious, beyond just saving money, what are some other tangible benefits of embracing FinOps?
Well, for starters, it leads to much more accurate financial reporting. Remember those unpredictable cloud bills we were talking about?
Oh, yeah.
FinOps helps tame that beast, giving you greater predictability and control of your cloud spending.
So no more nasty surprises when that invoice arrives.
Exactly. And with that increased predictability comes the ability to make more informed decisions about your cloud investments. When you have a firm grasp on your cloud financials, you can allocate resources more efficiently, prioritize projects based on their potential ROI, and ultimately make smarter decisions that drive business growth.
It's like FinOps gives you that financial clarity that you need to confidently navigate the cloud, which is essential in today's business landscape. But it's not just about the numbers, is it? There's also a cultural shift that happens when organizations fully embrace FinOps.
Absolutely. It's about fostering a culture of financial responsibility and accountability across all levels of the organization. When everyone understands the impact of their cloud choices, from the developers writing the code to the executives setting the strategy, it creates a really powerful alignment
Right.
that can drive real change.
So it's about breaking down those silos between departments and creating a more collaborative approach
Yes.
to managing those cloud costs.
Precisely. And that collaboration is key to unlocking the full potential of FinOps.
It sounds like FinOps is more than just a set of best practices. It's like a fundamental shift in mindset.
It is.
But I have to ask, for those who are maybe hearing all this for the first time, thinking, okay, I'm convinced, where do I even begin? What's your advice?
I would say start by asking the right questions.
Like what? Give us the Spark Notes version.
So, first and foremost,
Mhm.
where is your cloud spending actually going?
Okay.
You'd be surprised how many organizations don't have a clear answer to that question. Then ask yourself, who has ownership of those costs? Is it IT? Is it finance? Is it individual business units? And finally, what tools and processes are you currently using to manage your cloud financials?
Okay.
Once you have a good understanding of your current state, you can start exploring the FinOps framework and identify any areas for improvement.
It's about taking inventory and then figuring out where to focus your efforts.
Yes.
Right. No need to boil the ocean all at once.
Exactly. And the good news is there are tons of resources that are available to help you along the way. There's a vibrant FinOps community out there with online forums, conferences, even certifications to help you kind of build your expertise.
It's like joining a support group, but for cloud costs.
Exactly. You don't have to go it alone. There are people out there who have faced the same challenges and are eager to share, their experiences and best practices.
That's reassuring. So for those who are ready to dive headfirst into the world of FinOps, what's the most important thing to keep in mind?
Embrace the journey. FinOps is not a one-time fix. It's an ongoing process of continuous improvement Be prepared to experiment, learn, and adapt along the way.
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
That's right.
But with the right mindset and the right tools, it's a marathon you can definitely conquer.
Absolutely. And remember, the ultimate goal of FinOps isn't just to save money. It's about maximizing the value that you get from the cloud.
Right.
It's about empowering your organization to innovate faster, make smarter decisions, and ultimately, achieve your business goals more effectively.
Music to my ears, because, let's be real, who doesn't want to squeeze more value out of their tech investments?
Right.
It's like the old saying goes, a penny saved is a penny earned, but in this case, those pennies can quickly add up to millions.
Precisely. And that's why more and more organizations are realizing that this isn't just a nice to have. It's like a strategic imperative.
Right.
In today's cloud-driven world, ignoring FinOps is kind of like trying to run a marathon with your shoelaces tied together.
You might stumble across the finish line eventually, but it's going to be a painful and inefficient journey.
Exactly. And who wants that?
Not us, that's for sure. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling incredibly energized by this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not every day we get to explore a topic that has the potential to transform the way businesses operate from the ground up.
I completely agree. And I hope our listeners are feeling inspired to start exploring FinOps within their own organizations, even if they're not directly involved in cloud financial management.
All right.
Just understanding these principles can help them make smarter decisions in their own role, whatever that may be.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about being good stewards of our resources, whether they're financial, technological, or even, just our time and energy.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of FinOps. We covered a lot of ground today, from the challenges that are facing finance teams to the strategic benefits of really embracing those FinOps principles.
Absolutely.
But most importantly, we've hopefully given you the tools and the inspiration to start your own FinOps journey.
There you go.
And remember, it starts with a single step.
That's right. Even small changes can make a big difference over time.
So don't be afraid to ask questions, challenge the status quo, and most importantly, never stop learning.
Hear, hear.
The world of cloud financial management is constantly evolving, and those who embrace that growth mindset will be the ones who thrive in this new era.
Well said.
Here's to unlocking the full potential of the cloud.
Cheers to that.
And until next time, keep diving deep.